Let's take a look at tonight's Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineup.
3 freshmen start for each team. Keep an eye on Melo Trimble, all-conference guard for the Terps. And number 24, Mike Watkins, has 61 blocks on the year, the leading freshman shot blocker in all of college basketball.
Mark Turgeon in his 6th year as the head coach of the Terps. In 2015, the Big Ten Coach of the Year. 14 straight winning seasons on the bench for Turgeon. Across the way, Patrick Chambers, 6th year also for him. Patrick Chambers yet to beat Maryland, 0-3, although in the last 3 years, his teams have gotten to 16 wins. Can they do it this season as well? The opening tip, controlled by Penn State in the white and blue. Maryland, black, gold, and red.
They have played tight games the last 2 years. Penn State, totally different team this year. Terps ranked 21st in the land. They win close games, and they win on the road.
They are 6-0 on the road, 5-0 in conference play. And that one comes up a little bit short. Attempted save on the baseline, and it was out of bounds. It'll be Maryland basketball as Lamar Stevens couldn't keep it alive.
I asked Mark Turgeon before the game about his road record. Gonzaga's the only other team that's undefeated on the road in big-time college basketball. Really had no specific explanation. I think if you say Melo Trimble, that explains some of it for sure.
It was a very good
He is money in the end game.
The junior who wears number 2 and has the basketball right now. Open spaces for 3 for Trimble. Fight for the loose ball. Justin Jackson came up with it. He challenged the rim, but standing there was Mike Watkins to challenge him.
I'm giving him a shot block on that. That's 62 in my opinion. He's not great at this end one-on-one.
Trying to go up against DeMonte Dodd, who is an equally talented shot blocker for Maryland as well.
He's got 35 on the year.
Lamar Stevens hits the jumper, and it's our first bucket of the game.
Stevens is a mid-distance guy, not a three-point shooter. He likes the jumper from 15. Trimble, how about Trimble, huh? He is an unbelievable player. When he gets his first step on people, he drives this right to the basket in between 2 guys, little English off the hoop, and he gets the free throw coming. Hesitation dribble always works.
How about Trimble? He's made 476 career three-pointers, 2nd most in school history, and you can add 1 more to that for Trimble.
Well, I'll add another
83%, Coach.
83% is great, but right now what's great is he just had his 1,500th point in college basketball. 3 guys in the Big Ten with that, Nigel Hayes and Malcolm Hill. He's the 3rd.
Getting the scoring started for the Terps. Dodd was defending, and there was a foul.
On number 35, DeMonte Dodd is first.
It is on Dodd. We've got Lamont Simpson, Rob Riley, and Mike Eads. That's our officiating crew for this evening here at Bryce Jordan Center.
Maryland has a 3-headed center. Dodds, Tchaikovsky, and Bender. Mike Watkins is much, much better off when he's the guy who's getting passes for dunks, those kind of plays, rather than just being a post-up go-to guy.
Penn State losing on Saturday at home against Rutgers, 70-68 on a very close finish. Watkins contributed, though, off the bench with 11 points and 8 rebounds.
Disappointing loss for the Lions at home. They split with Rutgers this year.
Traveling violation against Maryland. There is that game on Saturday. Penn State with a chance to tie it.
Well, Carr went to the basket and couldn't come up with anything. He has made some good shots in the end game, but not on Saturday. Rutgers gets the W.
First road win for Rutgers in Big Ten play. Little turnaround, and it's good from Tony Carr.
Carr is a big guard, 6'4", long arms.
17 points for Carr in that game against Rutgers, and 11 of 13 from the free throw line, also 4 assists. Jackson had it knocked away. Challenge was there from Mike Watkins.
He's a factor, isn't he? I like Watkins. He's open there.
Kevin Herter. He had a chance against Purdue on Saturday. In the final seconds, Maryland got the ball back, and Herter had a chance at a three-pointer out of the corner. That bounced off the rim, and they lost to Purdue 73-72 at home. Across the lane and scoring, Lamar Stevens.
6'7", 225 freshman out of Philly.
One of 4 players out of Roman Catholic High School in Philly on this team, and he stripped that ball away.
Penn State hangs its hat on their defense. They force 15 turnovers a game in conference. That's number 1 in the Big Ten.
Herter comes up with it for Maryland and gives it to Trimble. Trimble weaving his way and laying it in. Make the pass and put it up on the square.
Talk about a guy who can keep his team in the game in close times. You know, they got off to a bad start. He's got all 5 of their points.
Trimble averages over 17 points per game, steps in the passing lane, and makes the steal for Maryland. Herter.
Good D.
Shot clock is at 10, Coach. Cowan in traffic, lost the handle, stripped away out of bounds. He's going to stay with Maryland.
Melo Trimble. He's an all-conference player for lots of reasons. Here's one of them. 8.
We're so glad that you're with us for this game this evening between Maryland and Penn State. 4th time they meet as members of the ACC, and Maryland has won all those previous meetings. So many great freshmen on the court, and there's one who wears a Penn State uniform I know you really like.
Well, Lamar Stevens is good so far, right? He's 2 out of 3 from the field so far. He's got 4 points. He's one of those mid-distance shooters. 3 players, freshmen from Roman Catholic High School in Philly, all starting in this game. He, Carr, and Watkins.
Had a fantastic game on the road at Indiana where he scored 26 points, a career high, and Maryland can't convert on the inbounds play.
Tchaikovsky was wide open and took a couple of steps before he shot it.
Tchaikovsky into the game for Maryland, wears number 15, and he comes up with the rebound.
Tchaikovsky's been injured on and off all year. Had a good game against Purdue where he had 6 blocked shots in the last game. Center by committee for the Terps.
Yeah, that was a career high for Tchaikovsky on those blocks, and did have a foot sprain that kept him out of action early in the season. Now backing his way down, but he traveled.
Well, they got the ball to Tchaikovsky 2 times in a row, and he came up with nothing. Substituting for Dodd right now.
Penn State trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. They've lost 5 of their last 6, and this call is going against the Nittany Lions and Julian Moore.
Moving screen. Moore had been starting. Kind of a defensive guy, screener guy. You never can tell whether a foul like that is the fault of the screener or the dribbler going too soon. And I'm not sure exactly which one it was on that particular case.
Terps are 20-3 on the season, 8-2 in conference play. This is Jackson teeing up a 3. Easy rebound for Carr as he brings it up.
No black jerseys on the offensive glass.
This is Moore backing his way in, and a very nice soft bounce.
Don't see that often with him. He only averages 3 points a game.
You know, he started, Coach, against Rutgers, but did not have a rebound or a point in that game on Saturday. Great passing, and it leads to an easy bucket. Bender with the layup. Goulas is also into the lineup for Penn State. He wears number 1. Peyton Banks. Rebound into the corner and taken by Jackson.
Brantley with the basketball. aside from Cowan and Melo Trimble. Played 2 great games on the road against Iowa and Illinois.
Moore knocked that one away. Garner tries to go to the rim. Bender pulls it down to the outlet to Brantley.
They've got
Hustle by
numbers.
Garner to get back into it. Trimble for 3.
That's the right play. They had 4 on 3. Trimble wide open and passed by Brantley with vision.
43rd made 3 of the season for Melo Trimble. 162 threes for his career as he continues to pile up the numbers. And as Coach said, he went over 1,500 points tonight in his career.
Good teamwork right there. Pick and roll, that's an easy one. And this one in transition. You hit Melo on the wing. It's a great time to shoot a 3 when the defense is backing up.
2 shots.
Mark Turgeon has used all 3 centers in the game already, and we're not even halfway through the first half. Dodd started, Tchaikovsky came in, and Bender in now. Mark wanted a special dispensation. He could use Bender's brother, who was the 4th pick in the NBA draft 2 years ago, but they said no.
So Julian Moore is at the free throw line for Penn State. Violation. It's going against Maryland.
Well, somebody was in the lane too soon. Bender is being explained to what the rule is. I like that bit of officiating. You know, official tells him exactly what the deal is. It's good stuff.
Mike Eads was all over it. Moore makes the most of that second opportunity. Penn State by 2. Inside of 13 minutes to go in a rapid first half. Nickens lines up the 3-pointer halfway down and out, and now a foul is called. It's going to be against Penn State.
Fouls on 0, Peyton Banks.
That was the first press situation Penn State used the whole game. Nickens took an early one. Foul on the rebound, so they retain possession here.
Kicked out of bounds by the Nittany Lions, and Herter to trigger the inbounds. Banks picked up that previous foul, his first.
We notice right here, Julian Moore, number 44, is guarding the inbound play right here. So you got the tallest guy trying to prevent an easy pass. They got it underneath the basket the last time in this situation. You can see how he keeps his hands up. Makes it a difficult inbound play.
Jalen Brantley, the junior from Springfield, Massachusetts, home of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Bender with a difficult shot.
Oh, big time rebound right there.
Moore got a piece of it, but also
Gill had an unbelievable offensive rebound here. This is an air ball pretty much right here. And he goes around his guy, Peyton Banks, and powers it in there. Terrific. Transfer from Duquesne, where he played 3 years.
shoots 62% from the free throw line. Sunday, it's an all-new episode of BTN's original The Journey. Big Ten Basketball 2017. That our Hoops experts cover the major topics in college basketball on Big Ten Basketball and beyond. All starts 8:30 Eastern Sunday on BTN.
I think the Journey episode is going to be with the ones where they do the in-state rivalries like Michigan State, Purdue, Indiana, Illinois Northwestern. Should be interesting. Tony Carr has been invisible in the game so far, number 10 with the ball here. Brantley's trying to stick to him. Finally.
Yeah, Tony
Welcome
Carr.
to the game, Tony. Been missing you so far.
Talked about those in-state rivalries, Coach, right after us. It's Illinois and Northwestern for the 173rd time those programs meet.
Wow.
And it's coming up.
The L&L boys, Vic Law and Scotty Lindsay. Lumpkin.
Herter got fouled trying to get by his defender. We'll take a timeout for the Bryce Jordan Center on the Big Ten Network. Penn State with a slim 3-point lead in the first half. Tony Carr has connected on both of his field goal attempts for the Nittany Lions.
Trimble has 8. The rest of the team has 3 combined. That is not a good sign for the Terps on the road.
Turnaround from Gill came up short.
Tony Carr is a tall point guard, and when he can take advantage of Brantley, who's much shorter, just pull up, hit it off the backboard. This is a wise play by the freshman guard. He should be doing that more often in this game. He can shoot over people.
Freshman from Philadelphia. Getting a breather on that bench right now. Maryland with the basketball.
Trimble not in the game. Where is the scoring going to come from?
Brantley trying to go baseline. He stumbles. Shot clock is at 10. Herder flips it into the corner. A miss out of the corner from Nickens.
That was a not good possession by Maryland right there. They're stumbling around. Trimble and Cowan are coming back in the game. They're at the scorer's table. They need to be in right now for Mark Jersey's group.
Shep Garner, leading scorer on the team, 13 points per game. Stevens, slight hesitation, and he makes it work.
He likes going over his left shoulder when he backs you in. Be wise to push him the other way.
Long rebound to Dodd and a new shot clock.
Penn State's defense is doing a great job on the Terps here. They are handling things well.
Nickens a runner. First points for Nickens tonight. Bostic also into that Penn State lineup wearing number 4 in white.
Also Roman Catholic product. Did you go Roman Catholic product?
I did.
Oh.
Lamar Stevens did. He just made a 3. Well, you know, Coach Chambers is from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, so he holds some influence as far as recruiting is concerned in that part of the country.
Of course, they played a home game at the Palestra in Philly this year against Michigan State and won that game. That's one of their 4 wins. So that is their formula for success right now.
Yeah, they won that game 72-63 on January 7th as Nickens will come out for Maryland.
Shooting from the arc has been abysmal so far. Maryland 1 for 6. Penn State 1 for 4. That's more of a bad sign for Maryland. They rely on it a little bit more. 2 guys make 3s on this team. Shep Garner and Peyton Banks. They both have 63 on the year.
Attempted follow by Stevens. Tony Carr's able to run it down. Garner with the wicked crossover. Can't finish it off. Jackson tries a drive. Tony Carr was defending.
They're the 3-point guys we were talking about. Peyton Banks on the right, Shep Garner on the left. They both have 63 on the year, almost identical in terms of their percentages and how many times they've had 4 in a game. They need those weapons if they're going to beat the ranked Terrapins at home. Maryland, number 21. They dropped a few spots in the polls after the loss to Purdue.
Those 2 guys, Banks and Garner, are 0 for 3 from 3-point distance so far tonight. And as Coach mentioned, just 1 of 4 for Penn State. Herder, he's got himself a 3. Another one of those tremendous freshmen involved in our game tonight. High degree of difficulty, but it'll drop for Josh Reeves.
Reeves is a great defender. He gives you something offensively. That's a big, big plus. Reeves is on Melo Trimble. That's a good matchup. Number 23 on number 2.
This is Cowan trying to shake Garner. Tried to give it off, deflected away, and taken by the Nittany Lions and Tony Carr.
Great team defense and good run out.
Dodd picks up the personal.
Freshman everywhere, as you said, Tom. Is one of the better ones. Second Herder in the Big Ten in threes for freshmen. Defensively, holding Maryland's a team that is really good offensively, and they are only shooting 33% from the field. Penn State 47. So right now the Penn State defense is leading to good opportunities for them, and here's a good example of it right here. They played good D, and Watkins has a run out.
Watkins hasn't missed from the line yet. 3 for 3.
6'9", 246, red shirt. Last year, this guy is going to be a force. Leading shot blocker in all of college basketball among freshmen.
4 for 4 from the line for Watkins. Herder, slip pass. Tchaikovsky. And it falls. Chance at a three-point play for Tchaikovsky.
Pick and roll, classic. Very nice pass by Herder. And the defense comes, but it's a little bit too late to get any kind of action. Good try right here. Tchaikovsky uses the backboard to soften the shot. That could have easily been a miss.
Looked like Simgulis came over and was in the restricted area when he made contact with Tchaikovsky, who finishes off the old school three-point play.
Terps looking for something offensively. Cowan has been absent from the offense, and that is not normal. Averages 11 a game.
He's only attempted 1 shot so far in the first half. Simgulis giving it off to Watkins, twisting up to the rim. Potential second chance. Boarded by Herder.
Yeah, what a play by Herder. Great hands. Got that ball on the ground. Good anticipation.
Herder's a freshman from Clifton Park, New York. A fixture in the starting lineup.
He can play.
26 points in a home game against Nebraska. A loss to Maryland earlier this season. That one goes out of bounds. It is off of the Terps. It was Trimble dribbling near the Penn State bench.
Good D again by Penn State. Patrick Chambers has to be happy with what his team is doing right now. Trimble scored the first 8 points. Since then, not doing too much.
Trimble does have a three-pointer to his credit. 3 of 5 from the floor, but he just turned it over back to the Nittany Lions. Penn State has not beaten Maryland since 1990 during the course of the NIT. Watkins bouncing inside, and Tchaikovsky got a piece of it.
Fouls on number 15, Michael Tchaikovsky, his first team foul.
Back to the basket. Couple of dribbles. Tchaikovsky, you know, didn't get anywhere near him closing out on the baseline. This is a power player right here. He's going to have a great future at Penn State.
Stay tuned at the half for the State Farm halftime report. Mike Hall, Jess Settles, Deion Thomas. Break down our first half and look ahead to the Wildcats and the Fighting Illini later tonight on VTN. That's State Farm halftime report coming up.
As far as the L's on Northwestern's team, Scotty Lindsey will not be playing in that game, and he's their leading scorer.
Wildcats have won 4 of the last 7 meetings between those two schools. That is Tchaikovsky offensive glass, and Garner might have reached in and picked up the foul.
Tchaikovsky got the offensive board, and there were 5 white jerseys right around him, which is very good. And Garner is smiling, said, I got the ball. Let's see if he's right. He got the ball, and he got his arm, and he got both arms. Shep fouled him twice.
Garner is yet to score. Keep in mind the leading scorer, 13 points per game for Penn State, but Garner so far 0 for 4, coach.
Yeah, and that's, they're ahead, which is really, really good news, right? I mean, you can't expect him to go 0 for the game. Tchaikovsky is adding a lot right here.
Justin Jackson was able to get it. He's going to pick up a foul as he was fighting for that rebound.
Wow. A little bit of a late whistle right there. Jackson was in the second spot on the free throw lane. Let's see if he pushes 24 under the basket. Well, Watkins went under the basket. I don't know if he touched him or not.
Jackson is the leading rebounder for this Maryland team, 6.2 rebounds per game. That shot by Stevens came up a little bit short. Cowan on the run. Trimble for 3. Stevens the board and clearance. Garner, and it's a 3. Didn't we just say he hadn't scored in the game, coach? It happens every single time.
Number 64. Threes on the season for the junior.
38% from beyond the arc on the season for Garner. Jackson trying to run it down. It's going to be Carr.
This kid has poise. Wow, what a block by Tchaikovsky. Holy cow.
Trimble in transition, switching hands in midair.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I could watch this guy all day long. Steps one way, then the other, and switches hands while he's up in the air and shoots it with his left. Beautiful.
Double digits and 10 points. Mellow Trimble.
Tchaikovsky's impacting the game. If it wasn't for him, Maryland would be down by a lot more. He's scoring at one end, and he's erasing at the other end.
83rd time that Trimble has gotten double digits in his illustrious Maryland career. Shot clock was running down. Oh, and Penn State's going to be bailed out by a foul. Herder picks up his first.
Check out Michael Tchaikovsky on the block. Swats this away nicely. And then the push. This is a thing of beauty right here. That is an educated basketball player, number 2, Mellow Trimble.
Number 1, Jalen Bradley checks back in for Maryland.
Tchaikovsky has missed a lot of games this year with all kind of different injuries to his legs.
Back in the game for the Terrapins.
This 10 games. He can't be in good physical shape, and he's going to the bench right now. It's hard to stay in shape when you have leg injuries. You can't even get on the exercise bike and keep your cardiovascular up.
Peyton Banks grazes the side of the rim. It's out of bounds to Maryland.
Peyton Banks comes off the bench, and he's a terrific shooter. Maryland has the scouting report on him because every time he touches the ball, somebody is very close by.
He's misfired on both of his three-point attempts tonight and is yet to score. Only had 3 points against Rutgers. 1 of 5 from the floor in that game on Saturday in the loss for the Nittany Lions. Bender was the cutter. Herder found him, and a whistle stops play for the foul. Penn State's got the lead over Maryland. 28-22 in the first half. At Big Ten Network to see the best images and video of the Big Ten.
And how about these images of young people at the game? That's pretty nice. And then there's some images of defense that we're going to show you right here from the Nittany Lions. Shot blocking, protecting the rim by Mike Watkins. 5 guys in the lane. The pull by Stevens. He got away with a double dribble there. Nice slap away by Julian Moore. They have created 7 turnovers to 3 for Maryland, and because of that, that is why they have the lead. Watkins has been a factor, definitely protecting the rim.
Bender is at the line for Maryland, 60% from the stripe on the season for Yvonne Bender.
Part of the three-headed center. He's a freshman, 6'10", red shirt. Tchaikovsky and Dodd also play that position. They're going to share it down the stretch in the last 8 games of this Big Ten season for the Terps.
4-point lead for Penn State. That jumper is good. Tony Carr
Two small guards are in the game right now for Maryland, Cowan and Brantley. Carr understands that, and that's when he takes his opportunity to shoot over them.
This is Brantley coming out of the corner. Cowan let the defender go on by, trying to drive past Carr. Back to Brantley for three. Justin Jackson had it knocked away out of bounds in Penn State basketball.
Wow. Jackson got a very good offensive rebound, but 4 white jerseys. Check it out when he gets it here. 4 guys are in the lane, and Lamar Stevens knocks it out of his hands, off his leg. Jackson feels as though he was fouled.
Jackson already has 6 rebounds as we play in the first half with 3:16 to go.
6'7", 225 freshman. Maryland undefeated on the road this year.
Carr was trying to drive and he ran into Trimble.
His first, team 7.
Well, fortunately for Maryland, that's Trimble's first foul in the game.
Tony Carr in the line for the Lions. 1-1.
So Carr with a 1-1 for Penn State, 79% of the season for Carr.
Number 23.
There they are, Road Warriors 6-0 on real away games. And you can see that they've won those games by a pretty good margin. Their offensive efficiency has been good. Their defense has been good. In addition to that 6-0, there was also 2-0 on neutral site games that they've also won. Only 2 teams in the nation to be like that are Maryland and Gonzaga. Everybody else has lost on the road or a neutral site game.
Terps enjoyed that win on the road November 15th at Georgetown. If you saw that celebration after the game, Mark Turch's team winning 76-75 at the rim. Watkins and Tchaikovsky, and a foul is called.
Fouls on number 24.
Pick and roll's been effective with Mello, Trimble, and Tchaikovsky. Right here, this is very good execution. They both go with him, and it had to be a bounce pass. Tchaikovsky's not a leaper. If you have like a gigantic leaper, you throw it up to him here. But Tchaikovsky, very nice.
Despite the miss, Tchaikovsky with 4 points tonight. Watkins is going to have to leave with his 2 personal fouls now with 2:49 to go.
Yeah, that's a wise decision by Patrick Chambers, no doubt about that.
Tchaikovsky did not miss a field goal, went 4 for 4 in double digits, 10 points in that loss, a close one against Purdue at home.
And that's
on
against
Saturday.
Haas and Swanigan.
Yep.
You know, those are the 2 gigantic players in the league. Maybe the 2 best 4-5 combination in the Big Ten.
Blocked by Tchaikovsky, and he can't believe that a foul was called as Julian Moore is going to get free throws.
I thought he had it also. He is coming off on players. Right here he helps and then gets back to his man. Man, that looks as clean as it can be.
So that's the second.
Right there.
Yeah, second on Tchaikovsky, who had 6 blocks in that game against Purdue, a career high, as Coach mentioned.
He's got to be careful with his histrionics right there. He doesn't want to get a technical foul. Hasn't played a lot this year. They need him.
Number 13.
Julian Moore had made his 2 previous free throw attempts prior to that miss, and now Tchaikovsky also with the 2 personals to the Terps bench.
Yeah, and Bender in for him.
In the first half for Moore. Penn State is led by as many as 8 as they lead by 7 at this moment. Herter backs off and hits.
Wow. What a great shot. He had to back off to create space to open things up, and he did. Usually when guys do that, they hit front rim because they're fading away. He hit it right in the middle.
That is a long distance 3 from Banks. Pulled in by Carr. Through some defensive attention. Banks. Moore unable to lay it in.
This is a restricted arc play right here. If you're a help side defender, your feet are in the restricted arc and there's contact, it's going to be automatic on the defense. Melo causes this to be a miss because he steps. Here's the miss, but that's not the foul. Well, maybe that is the foul. I guess he's calling that. I thought he called the foul after that.
2 shots.
So Trimble now also has 2 fouls. And Moore is at the free throw line.
How about Moore going way over his averages here in the first half?
I got him at 2.7 points per game, Coach.
Yeah.
And he's only been to the line 17 times before tonight.
Been there 6 now, right?
Yeah, this is his 6th attempt. He's made 4. Somebody's been practicing their free throws.
This is called an outlier event. When a guy that you don't expect to do big things in a game comes in and does against a highly ranked team.
Carr has 7, Moore has 7. Stevens leads the way with 9 for Penn State. Trimble remains in the game with the 2 personal fouls and less than 2 minutes to go. Penn State basketball.
Mark Turgeon trusts Trimble not to get a 3rd foul.
Penn State shooting 42% in the first half.
Carr should go on Trimble. Carr should go on him to try to get his 3rd foul on him, and that's what he's doing here. But there was a switch, so Justin Jackson on him now.
So they'll try a 3 instead. Penn State now just 2 of 8 from beyond the arc. Up to Bender from Trimble.
How about it? If Trimble is in the game, good things are going to happen. Timeout for the Terps right here.
Bender now is 6 points as we take a timeout. On back to the bench for the Terps, but here he combines with Bender on the collaboration.
Well, this is the offensive end of the floor, and of course, after the timeout with 2 fouls, Mark Turgeon doesn't want him to risk a defensive foul, so he's on the bench here.
Trimble's the only scorer tonight to get into double figures. He's got 10 in the first half. We're inside of a minute to go.
How about Stevens handling the ball out here? Not bad for a 6'7" power forward. Carr has a small guard on him. He likes to back guys in and shoot over them in this situation.
3 misses from Stevens.
6-second differential, shot clock and game clock.
Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime, the State Farm halftime report coming up. Mike Hall, Jess Settles, and Deion Thomas. Brantley misses.
You can't get more open than that.
Bostic had it, and now they're going to get a timeout. So Penn State gets a timeout with just under 17 seconds to go.
So of the league by a 2-point margin at home, wondering how they were going to come out in this game against a ranked opponent, Maryland number 21 in the nation. And Patrick Chambers has his guys ready. They are playing really solid defense, causing a lot of turnovers, protecting the rim. And even though their big scorers like Garner are not involved offensively in this game, they still have a sizable lead right here. Very nicely done first half by the Nittany Lions.
The final 5 seconds. This is Carr. He got fouled. Brantley was guarding him.
The value of a tall point guard. Brantley's like 6 feet. Carr's 6'4", just shoots right over him. Brantley hits him clearly.
Carr is 1 of 2 from the line in the first half. 1.5 seconds left in this half. And that'll frustrate Coach Mark Turgeon.
I don't know what the officials are talking to the 2 players about. Maybe they were jawing at one another a little bit after that play. A little preventative officiating.
Seven points despite the miss in the first half for Carr.
Number 11,
Jared Nickens in the game right here, and you would say, why make this substitution? You can throw long. He's a great 3-point shooter. Might think about throwing long to him.
.5 seconds to go. Penn State by 6. Herder try to center the distance of the court, easily intercepted by Stevens. Let it fly. That'll do it for the first half. So after the break, Mike Hall, Jess Settles, Deion Thomas will bring you the State Farm halftime report. Here in University Park, Pennsylvania, Penn State 35-29 as the
7 from the field, only 1 of 3 from downtown. 10 points for the star guard, but he is not getting much help in this game at all. 29 points for the 21st ranked team in the nation and a half is not good.
Trimble's 10, the most of anybody in our game tonight. 4 of 7 from the floor, as you saw from the shot chart. This Maryland team coach averages close to 76 points per game, 4th best in the conference, limited, as you said, to 29 in the first half, and a turnover for Penn State. Dodd got back defensively. Foul on the play on the drive from Tony Carr.
Fouls on 0. Anthony Cowan is first.
First foul on Anthony Cowan.
Take a look at the defense right here. 3 guys in the right position, and then Stevens anticipates the cross-court pass and gets to the other end.
First trip to the line tonight for Stevens.
Patrick Chambers has to be thrilled with the performance of his team right now after losing to Rutgers by 2 in their last outing here.
Penn State, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the conference, 74%, 4th best in the Big Ten.
You would expect Penn State's team to get better as the season goes on because starting 3 freshmen, and they've got gigantic minutes, all 3 of them, that's going to help.
Fight for the ball in the corner in front of the Maryland bench, ends up in the hands of Herder. Now Cowan. Behind the line for 3, comes up short. The long rebound controlled by the Nittany Lions and Reeves. Garner wants 3. Gonna get Watkins for pushing off.
Well, that's a silly one because that's his 3rd. Decision time right now for Patrick Chambers. Let's take a look on the weak side. He pushes Dodd in the back, gets the ball. Clear foul. Now Julian Moore comes in the game, and he did really good work in the first half. 5 of 6 from the free throw line for Julian. So in this game, at least, the center position being manned by those 2 guys.
So Moore comes in with 7 points in the game. Watkins has to go to the bench. He's got 6 points, and he hasn't missed a free throw.
This is the best that Moore has played all year.
Lost the handle going through the lane.
The reason he lost the handle was he hit his arm. Julian Moore grabbed his arm as he was going through there.
So Moore just picked up his 3rd personal. As Herder sends it into the backcourt.
Penn State's focus on defense is really admirable. They are alert on everything. On ball screens, people are not getting loose. Here we got a switch, big on a little.
Cowan, who has not scored, trying to dive and save it. There is time for the Terps, 10 on the shot clock. Trimble. Deflected. Picked up by Dodd. Had to let it fire.
Great D.
And he missed the rim.
Great
Shot clock
D.
violation.
It is hard to play D for 30 seconds with that kind of intensity, especially when the other team is running different stuff against you. That is fantastic play right there. Cowan is really struggling in this game. Freshman point guard really having trouble getting where he wants to go.
He's 0 for 4 from the floor and has not scored. Stevens. Going to stay at this end of the floor as Reeves was fighting for it for the Nittany Lions.
Terps look a little stunned to me right here, body language-wise. Kind of guys kind of roaming around a little bit. I don't see the intensity that Mark Turgeon would like right now.
Well, Maryland has won 4 in a row in the series.
you have a tendency when things are going bad offensively to try to improve the offense. What you should do is try to improve your defense, and then the offense will come. I don't see that in Maryland so far in the game.
Garner goes for the reset. 10 on the shot clock. Into the corner. Reeves, weak side. Stevens. And a fresh shot clock.
Two power forwards matched up. Justin Jackson and Lamar.
Carr misses. Fouls on Penn State.
Fouls on number 10, Tony Carr, his second. Team third.
Tony Carr has his second personal foul. Maryland's won 9 of the last 10 against Penn State. Taken away from Dodd. He got it back for a second chance and then was fouled.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a struggle. It looked like it was going to be an easy play, and the Penn State defense on the weak side attacks Dodd. Looks like a layup right here. 3 guys block the shot and get a hand on it. They are alert everywhere. Strong side, weak side, guys coming to help, protecting the rim. This is impressive.
He gave that foul to Tony Carr, so that's his third.
Patrick Chambers' team forces 15 turnovers a game. That's the best in the Big Ten.
Foul trouble, though, becoming an issue early in this second half for Coach Chambers and the Nittany Lions. So he's going to go to his bench.
Take some juggling sometimes. I'll tell you what, he's not going to trade that for the aggressiveness that he's seen in his team here.
Big Ten Network League of Legends has arrived. Don't miss the next exciting Big Ten Network League of Legends matchup. Check it out on BTN to go Monday, 6 Eastern. It's Michigan State and Indiana. BTN League of Legends.
Well, Dodd didn't play a lot of minutes in the first half because Tchaikovsky was helping offensively. But he's been the man in the middle for quite a few games.
First points of the game from the free throw line for Dodd here in the second half.
He's a facilitator. He needs other guys to be doing the scoring.
Deflected by Brantley, right to Trimble. They do not have the numerical advantage, but they attack the rim anyway. And Moore's going to pull it away. This is Stevens, coach.
I'll tell you what, he is feeling it.
A confident pull-up jumper for Stevens.
Had 26 at Indiana.
That was a career high. Today he's got 10. This is Dodd going to the rim, and the foul's on Penn State.
Well, Penn State's defense has been good. But I'll tell you what, their offense has been good as well. Right here. A little bit late. Good try. Notice the official on your left pointing at the ground. That means it's an arc foul, restricted arc play. If it was not a restricted arc play, it would just be putting his fist up in the air. So the officials have visual signals that you can determine by watching them.
Right back to the free throw line for Devontae Dodd, the senior from Centerville, Maryland.
Not a great scorer, but he facilitates things. Defends the rim, sets good screens.
So after making his first 2 free throw attempts, he misses the second 2. 2 for 4 from the line for Dodd, and it represents all of his points tonight. Banks. Garner in rhythm. Offensive glass, up and in. Stevens.
Sometimes you're having a game. Lamar Stevens is having a game.
Justin Jackson misses. Attempts it saved by Garner. Banks picks it up. Stevens, 14 points in the game to lead Penn State.
No Maryland jerseys on the offensive glass except Dodd. Justin Jackson not doing any help there in this half.
against Maryland.
Penn State's D has been good. So is their offense. Lamar Stevens picks this one off with good anticipation. And right here, 4 guys on the block. They are aggressive, 40-31.
By the way, the tournament this year, Verizon Center, Washington, D.C. Right to our standings. The Big Ten Conference. With Wisconsin at its 9-1 record. Maryland close behind, but in a tussle tonight with Penn State.
Well, Wisconsin's ranked 7th in the country. Ethan Happ and Nigel Hayes and Koenig are really doing a lot of damage. Purdue and Lamar Stevens is doing plenty of damage right here at the Bryce Jordan Center. 16 points in the game for Lamar. He averages 11 on the year. He's had some big games. You mentioned, Tom, his 26 in Indiana. I think this is the best game that he's played.
Trimble, the runner. Moore tried to pull it in. Garner able to grab it.
Why not? Go ahead, Lamar.
I thought Stevens was going to pull up, too. Little heat check. Instead, it's Carr. Soft touch.
They are all doing what they're supposed to do at the offensive end in terms of their skill set. And then on the defensive end, they're playing as a cohesive unit. And that's why Penn State is up on the number 21 team in the nation. Penn State Nittany Lions. Freshman Lamar Stevens. Freshman Tony Carr. They are up big and deserve to be.
Wisconsin's won 7 in a row. And the Penn State freshmen have performed this evening. Really in the absence of scoring from Shep Garner, coach.
Well, they beat Minnesota when Minnesota was ranked. Beat Michigan State. They seem to play well against tough competition. Penn State's been in a lot of close games this year. They've been on the bad side of a bunch of them. Maryland has been in a lot of close games and been a good side on most of them. Won 9 games by 6 points or less this year. They used to being in tight games, but they're not used to being behind by this much.
Cowan on the drive, and he was fouled.
Cowan has not been part of this game much at all. And right here, the 6-footer going in and amongst the trees. Gets fouled on the body. He has great quickness. So far this year, Cowan has combined with Mello and Trimble to form a very potent backcourt. But in this game, he hasn't been involved much at all.
Well, Moore has picked up his 4th personal coach. And now Penn State was trying to get a substitution in. And Coach Turgeon wants the free throw attempt first. He's letting Mike Eads know about it as well. Coach Chambers also in on the discussion. First point for Cowan as we take a look at the Penn State freshman.
They've been fabulous tonight. Tony Carr, Lamar, Stevens, and Watkins. Watkins has been on the bench with foul trouble. Stevens has carried the offensive load for sure. And Carr is playing with great intelligence. 6 rebounds for the point guard as well. Full court pressure. We're going to see a lot of this in the next 14 minutes of the game. Maryland's got to get back in this game somehow. So now we test the ball handling of the freshman.
Pressure broken successfully by the Nittany Lions.
Worst place to stop your dribble is just across the 10-second line, because now you can't throw it backwards, so it limits your options.
Josh Reeves takes a glance at that shot clock. Whoa. Fancy behind-the-back dribble, and then he traveled, though, as that ball came up near his shoulder area.
I think he traveled, and he palmed, and he did, he did a bunch of stuff. They could only call one thing.
He had that nice dribble prior to that, but then lost the handle on the basketball and gave it back to Maryland.
Well, let's keep score here on Maryland's press. They pressed once, and they got a turnover in the front court.
10 points for Trimble, leading scorer for the Terps. Tchaikovsky trying to work on the block. Shot clock at 8. Gill, the baseline jumper.
Okay, here we go. Second possession of pressure. This time it's man-to-man. Cowan picking up full court on Carr. The further away from the basket they are, the more that Cowan has the advantage. The closer to the basket, Carr's advantage.
Carr. Over Tchaikovsky.
That's what I mean by a tall point guard and an advantage.
12 points. Tony Carr.
Carr is clutch. He missed one against Rutgers, but he made two in a win against Nebraska. Here's a hold. Tony Carr uses the dribble to get to the lane right here. Cowan's on his hip. Tchaikovsky comes out, but he gets it off before Tchaikovsky can get to the height of his jump. That is an educated player right there. Had Carr waited until he got to the top of his jump, that would have been a block shot. He shot it before he reached his peak, which was the right thing to do.
Tchaikovsky is 3 of 5 from the line tonight. 5 points in total.
Melo Trimble is on 10 points, and he's had 10 points since about the first 5 minutes of the game.
Banks unleashes the three. Tchaikovsky had great position.
Watkins didn't want to foul on that one, too. He's behind him, right?
Watkins has 3 personal fouls.
Looks like they're trying to get it to Tchaikovsky to try to get the foul on Watkins, but Melo Trimble, he's got to take over this game.
Sends it back out to Gill. Misses the three. Watkins and Tchaikovsky going for it. Looks like the foul's going to be against Tchaikovsky.
Well, if we had a three-point shooting contest in the game, it would be even. Both teams are 2 of 14 from behind the arc. And that is hurting Maryland more than it is hurting Penn State, because Penn State is scoring in the paint much, much better.
Coach Sturgeon's team is in the top 5 as far as three-point shooting is concerned, but tonight it has been a struggle for both teams.
You got to credit Penn State's defense. It's not like the Terps are missing things that are totally wide open.
Just 13% from long distance for Maryland. That ball gets knocked around and picked up by Herder. Looked like it caught Reeves right in the face.
Reeves has been a little loose with the ball the last few possessions. How about Herder?
Yeah, coach.
That was pretty deep. He's capable, no doubt about that.
He shows great poise for a freshman player who, I guess, is on his way to his sophomore season at this point in the season.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Herder from the top. Nothing but bottom.
Agent today at 800 State Farm.
Let's take a look at this last three by Herder. He's going to put his arms way up in the air right here. He passes the ball up the court to Cowan. He's showing his arms. See how he's showing him? Big target right here. And, of course, nobody close to him, but Cowan recognizes it. Watkins tries to go out and challenge, but there's no way once a guy gets his rhythm. That's a second three for Herder in the game. They could use more of that. They are only down to 8, and it feels like they are down 20 to me in watching this game right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 or 6 minutes, whether Maryland can make a rush offensively.
Lamar Stevens drops it low to Watkins, and he'll bend that rim.
Stevens has done everything right. That time he was double-teamed, made a very nice pass to the interior.
8 points for Watkins and the pretty assist from Stevens.
Trimble not in the game.
They put it up on the cylinder for Gill, knocked away, taken by Watkins.
That's an NBA-style play that, but you didn't have a 7'4" guy jumping for him.
An attempted follow jam after the miss by Carr. Looks like it was Reeves who was up on the cylinder.
Well, it was a left hand, and that's his thing. Good athlete, good intensity. Right here, watch this pass now. The help comes, and Watkins is all alone inside. Brantley should have stayed in front of him. He was in front of him and then went to the perimeter. Gave up an easy one. Missed assignment by Brantley.
free throw attempt of the game for Reeves. Shoots 65% from the line. Watkins has 8 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, and he's made all 6 of his free throws.
Notice him down in a crouch behind Reeves there. He might have tweaked his back a little bit on that last dunk. We'll keep an eye on him.
Trimble with the ball for Maryland. Accelerates to the rim. Could not get the angle on the glass. Watkins got the board as he was falling down.
And notice how he outletted it so he didn't travel on that play. Nice play by Watkins. He's really a player.
Six rebounds now for Watkins. Using that shot clock. Carr. Watkins.
Big time. Everybody. That's big time right there. 6'4" point guard to 6'9" Watkins, redshirt freshman.
Watkins playing very intelligently with those 3 personal fouls as well, Coach.
No doubt about it. Watkins is the man in the paint for this Nittany Lions, no doubt. Very good. An opportunity for more wins down the road in the conference. Barry Palm projection as a 7 seed. So 7 seed is not borderline in my mind. And if you watch them play, they look like a tournament team.
Illinois leads that series, Coach, 132-40.
Yikes.
But tonight they'll go head-to-head after us in their 173rd all-time meeting.
Malcolm Hill, 1,500 points on the year. He's going to have a good game there.
Justin Jackson. Now, they needed that 3.
No doubt. They had got it down to like 6, and then Penn State really did a great job getting easy shots.
The lead was up to 14 prior to the Jackson bucket. Alley-oop to Watkins. Got tangled up in the net. The Lions kept it. Couldn't get it back to Watkins, and now Jackson stumbles down.
Watkins is going to foul on this, Tom. I don't think he intentionally tripped Jackson, but Jackson went down. He's surprised that the call is on him. Right here, he is open underneath, and watch his legs. Jackson kind of just falls, so Watkins, I can't blame him for being angry at that. That's his 4th.
So Watkins has to walk over to that Penn State bench. An unfortunate sequence there,
well, here's the thing now, if you're Patrick Chambers, okay? He's been a big factor in the game, both ends of the floor. So what do you do now? When do you bring him back? Okay, if you maintain the lead, the longer you can leave him on the bench. But if Maryland starts to make a run, you got to get him back in there with 6 minutes to go if there's any kind of run by the Terps here.
So he's got 4, and also Moore has 4 as well.
Well, you can jockey both of them back and forth. You could also go small and play Lamar Stevens at the 5 if you had to. So right now, Moore is going to be in there, 44 for a few minutes at least. And then Watkins, I'm suspecting, will be back.
Well, Julian Moore is tonight's Motel 6, 6th man. You see what he has done tonight, although, as we mentioned, he is now playing with 4 personal fouls as well. Julian Moore with 7 points. 5 of 6 from the free throw line, as you saw, and he connected on his only field goal attempt. A couple of rebounds as well for Moore.
Nittany Lions have handled the press well.
Garner just 3 points tonight.
Yeah, and it hasn't mattered, has it?
No, he's 1 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. Jackson on the drive was fouled. Lamar Stevens was trying to guard him.
Well, for Maryland, what you got to do in a situation like this is spread the floor and go with the dribble drive. 3 fouls on Lamar Stevens. If you go with the dribble drive, it's likely you're going to get to the line. You're going to slow the clock down and try to score from the free throw line.
Double bonus for the Terps. Jackson at the line.
Team fouls, Penn State 10, only 4 for the Terps. But they are not making their free throws at a good rate.
Number 4, Kevin Herter in the game for Maryland.
14 of 21 from the line as a team for Maryland as Herter comes back in.
Well, 67% isn't going to do it when you're behind in a game. Got to make them all.
Wiley came out for Maryland.
We talked about Shep Garner not scoring much, but he's handling the ball well, directing traffic well, playing solid D.
You know, he's coming off a game, coach, where he made 6 3-pointers against Rutgers in that close loss and scored 24. Garner contested 3. Bender. Trimble, wide open. Bender misses.
Wow. Are you kidding me? That is a backbreaker for Maryland. That would have been the easiest basket of the game for them.
Stevens almost spun it in. As he collided in midair, mind you, with his defender.
Well, Trimble makes a perfect pass right here. Bender just misses the shot. That's all there is to it. Nobody even close to him on that one.
Number 11, Lamar Stevens.
Had the ball up high, didn't bring it down. Exactly what you're supposed to do.
If you noticed on that replay, coach, you could see Bender right before he went up for the layup. He glanced over at the defender very, very quickly. Hard to detect, but it threw him off just enough, and he missed that layup. Just a quick glance is all it takes, as you well know from your years of coaching.
Well, he's out, Dodd's in. Should have been a dunk.
Despite the miss, 17 points for Stevens.
9-point deficit. Mellow Trimble time. He's got to either shoot it or make plays.
Looking for the alley-oop to Dodd, and that layup will fall.
There you go. Good substitution by Turgeon. He didn't want to see any more missed layups.
4 points for Dodd. Penn State runs it up quickly. DeMonte Dodd tries to defend, but he can't stop Bostic.
Wow. Bostic is a seldom used player, and that was a great play. Hung in the air, shot it on the way down. Beautiful.
Picked a pretty good time for his first bucket of the game. Nickens misses. Stevens had the rebound and got fouled.
Watch this play. It's going to be a blocked shot. He shoots it on the way down. 9 on the degree of difficulty scale.
Nittany Lions 55-46 in the lead against the number 21 team in the country, which has not lost on the road all season, away from Xfinity Center.
Trimble and his buddies are 8-0 in road games and neutral site games. The only other team undefeated is Gonzaga, who's rated number 1 in the country. And that looks in jeopardy right now.
You add to that the fact that Penn State has not beaten Maryland in this series since 1990. They made their way. Yeah, that was in the second round of the NIT, where Penn State finished 3rd in 1990 at the NIT. They beat Coach Wenzel's team from Rutgers on the way to that 3rd place finish in 1990.
They got to New York. They were a good team, solid D, just like this team.
Fighting on the glass.
Good foul. Right there, Carr is complaining, but he fouls in the backcourt. That was going to be a dunk, but we are in the penalty, so there will be free throws. Right here, Peyton Banks has gotten stuck twice on this possession in awkward situations. And there's a pull of the jersey by Carr.
First free throw of the night for Herter. When the action ends, the Big Show takes over. In-depth highlights from around the conference, post-game reaction straight from the arena, and a complete breakdown of everything that happened. The Big Show tonight, 11 Eastern on BTN. And BTN to go.
After their loss to Purdue by 2 points at home, Maryland had to kind of refocus, and they felt going into this game that it was really good to play a game quickly after that loss. Mark Turgeon talked about that. But they have not performed up to their standard in this game, largely because of the Penn State defense. It's been spectacular.
Although the Nittany Lions have thrown it away. Coach Chambers pleading with Shep Garner.
Well, he wanted Garner to go to the middle. Instead, Garner went long, and Carr threw it over his head. Carr hasn't made many mistakes, but that was one.
Reeves is checked into the lineup for Coach Chambers as Bostic comes out.
8 points is not insurmountable, but the way that Maryland has played offensively, it feels like it's insurmountable.
Just 4 of 18 from three-point territory from Maryland. They were 4 of 19 in the loss to Purdue. That got knocked away from a driving Trimble.
Carr fouled him.
There's a foul.
Fouls on number 10.
That's a couple of quick ones now on Carr, Coach.
Yeah, right here. Carr fouled him on the way in. So Trimble will go to the free throw line, where he is one of the best guys in the country. He has taken 133 this year, which is a ton. Made 111.
And he still hasn't scored in the second half.
Wow.
You made a note of it, Coach. He scored those 10 points relatively early in the first half, but he's been shut out since.
He had 8 in the first 2 minutes.
Can't keep an 83% free throw shooter down for long.
That's for sure.
Trimble now with 11 and 2 of 3 from the line. That one all the way to Dodd.
Opportunity knocking.
How fast is Trimble with that basketball? Maybe a little too fast. Stevens tried to jam it, and Jackson met him at the rim. An aggressive take from Stevens and a foul on the play.
This is great stuff right here. Trimble thought he was fouled. Stevens looks up. He's got a path, but Jackson says, not today. And the two freshmen, 6'7", 230-ish, both meet at the rim. They'll be seeing each other a lot during their careers.
Well, you could tell as soon as Stevens got near the three-point arc, he was determined.
A lane opened. I mean, it was like the parting of the Red Sea.
And then Jackson committed the foul. It's his second. Three of 5 from the line for Stevens. And now 18 points. He leads all scorers. He's one of 3 Penn State players in double figures.
They are making their free throws at a good rate. That wins most games. Notice the white shirts in the lane waiting for Trimble.
Penn State had it for a moment. Back to Trimble. Got around the defender, but the shot was altered.
There was a challenge, no doubt. Garner, 5 fingers in the air, shaking them.
Penn State 1 and 3 this season against the top 25. Maryland number 21 coming into tonight's action. And it's Stevens. And he held that follow through for just an extra beat.
Wow. He's been a bright spot from deep on this team in this game.
Third 3 for Herter, Coach. He's got 3 of the 5 made threes, but he commits the foul here.
Lamar Stevens, they ISO'd him right here. Face-up game. You don't play me closely, I can knock it in. And then Herter gets 2 screens right here. And that's why he was open on that play. Terrific screening by his teammates.
So Herter's got 12 points, and that leads the team, Coach. Lamar Stevens hit the shot prior to Herter's 3, and now Stevens, for the 4th time this year, has gone for 20 points or more. Now there's a timeout on the court. So we've got 2 officials talking to Mark Turgeon. And the Penn State huddle around Coach Chambers. Coach Mark Turgeon.
Well, if Mark Turgeon had a magic wand that he could produce instant offense for, that's what he would do.
Here's it. Two of the officials, Lamont Simpson and Mike Eads, are looking at a replay on the scorer's table near that Maryland huddle. All right, so we're waiting to decipher what the officials are trying to figure out. We check out tonight's Auto Owners Insurance game leaders. Trimble for Maryland, Stevens for Penn State.
Well, Stevens has been the story in this game. I mean, he has been spectacular in every area of the game. Not only scoring, but also handling the ball defensively, doing everything he can.
So Mike Eads just came over to us and told us that Peyton Banks.
They were checking on whether it was flagrant or not.
Exactly. They were checking on if it was a flagrant foul. It was not, but it was Peyton Banks. Coach came over and said 0 to me. So it may have happened away from the ball. But Mike Eads told us they were taking a look at it. It was right in the middle of your screen is Banks, right?
Well, the guy was cut. Eads said to me, I don't know what he said to you, I couldn't hear, but he said to me that the player was cut, and therefore they looked to see if it was a flagrant or not, and it wasn't.
I thought he said 0, but they did check the monitor, no flagrant. Penn State by 9 as we cross the 5-minute threshold.
Pressure out has been terrific in this game.
Jackson driving, the basket will not count. Foul on the floor, but at this point in the double bonus, it's going to be a couple of shots for Maryland.
Well, I'm surprised Watkins is not back in the game. He's been a more effective player. They still have the lead by 9, but if I'm Patrick Chambers, I'm getting a little nervous right here. Watkins is a defensive presence, and when the other team is gambling, like Maryland is gambling defensively, he gets open under the basket, he's going to have a dunk.
So Stevens comes out of the game for Penn State. He's got 4 personals. Bostic is in there, so is Banks. Jackson gets 1 of 2, and this is Garner to bring it up. I'll give it right back to Banks. Double came, they got it away.
Good to switch sides of the floor. If it comes up one side, get it to the middle and opposite. Because the defense, all 5 guys want to be on the same side of the floor.
Again, just 3 points for Garner, leading scorer for the team. His teammates have helped him out. He needs to look at that shot clock. Inside for his teammate Julian Moore for the jam. Jackson for 3. Wow, deep 3.
Well, the one was more spectacular, but this one's more efficient. It's a 3 for 2.
Second 3 of the game for Jackson.
7-point game, plenty of time left. This could go to the wire. But so far, Penn State has handled the pressure well. You can't actually freeze the ball. You want to take what the defense gives you here.
Nittany Lions have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Shot clock running down. Bostic tried to give it off to Moore. It was tipped away. Herter wants another 3. Comes up short. Tapped out to Brantley. He connects.
They're back. Patrick Chambers, I think, needs a timeout to get better players in the game right now. He's got guys who are not used to being in this situation as much.
It is a 4-point game. Bostic comes in, rips it away from Herter, and lays it in.
Well, Bostic says to me, the heck with that, coach. I'm not in this situation often, but I'm going to make a play. Congratulations, Mr. Bostic. Well done.
4 points for Bostic, a player who averages for the season 1 point per game.
The 3 freshman starters are ready to come in.
Bostic blocks it on the Cowan drive.
Penn State is bringing in Carr, and Stevens and Watkins. That is right what they need right now. Aggressive play by Bostic, left hand in, and at this end, wow, we got action. Right now, Roman Catholic High School. Foul trouble, bunch of guys. Most important guy right there, Stevens and Carr, because a point guard at the end of a game when you have the lead is in control of the ball.
Those two guys have combined for 34 points, and
what an awkward pass right there.
Unable to get it in as Brantley couldn't handle the pass from Herder.
That was an awful play. Threw the ball way too low, right into the corner. Right here, nobody is open. Hits it off his leg. I don't know what Herder was thinking there. Lost opportunity for Mark Turgeon's group here.
Teams played in late December last year at Maryland. 70-64 was the win for the Terps, who have won 4 in a row in this series.
Maryland's trying to press in the backcourt, but when it gets to the front court, play solid man-to-man. Cannot afford to give up anything easy.
Shot clock is down to 5.
Dodd needs to stay close to Watkins.
Bostic tried to sneak in, and he just couldn't hang on to it.
Bostic beat his man. I'll tell you, he's been Mr. Energy in this game so far, making really good plays, being rewarded with playing time.
4 points for Bostic. And he's made both of his field goal attempts. Maryland has the ball. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Jackson with a quick trigger. Halfway down and out. Dodd, offensive glass for the Terps.
They're back. 64-60. Watch for Tony Carr to make plays here now. Gotta get 10 seconds.
Brantley was diving for it. Stevens grabbed it. Over and back.
Backcourt violation by Stevens.
It was Jackson who caught him up, Coach.
Well, the officials are jumping in because guys started slapping at one another, Jackson and Stevens. Right here, he's got the ball in the front court. His foot goes in the back court, and he comes back into the front court. That's a violation.
How close was that? The officials right on top of it.
Well, right now, Nittany Lions rely on their defense. It's been great all game long. Stick with your man. Help when necessary.
Brantley.
That is a brick. And Herder fouls to stop the clock immediately. 4 fouls on Kevin.
So we'll walk to the other end. Penn State in the bonus with 1:22 to go.
Penn State 2 timeouts left. They have the possession arrow. Maryland with 1.
Penn State tonight, 20 of 26 from the free throw line.
They usually celebrate after wins how well you shot from the free throw line.
You know, Coach Chambers told us the difference in a lot of those close games for Penn State that were losses, a lot of it came from the free throw line and those little details that they need to take care of. They've done a very good job of that tonight and lead by 5.
Their defense has been extremely impressive. They forced 15 turnovers. That's more than anybody in the conference. They have length. They pay attention to the details on defense. And the players, the freshmen, are growing. It's readily apparent when you watch them play.
1:15 to go. Penn State by 6. Trimble trying to cut it in half. Out of bounds. The initial indication was Nittany Lions basketball. There's another look on the replay. Now the officials can go to the monitor. Inside of 2 minutes to go in regulation and in overtime, they can go to the monitor to confirm or overturn the call that was made as you get a look at it.
It looks like it's off Penn State.
Now the call on the court, Coach, from Lamont Simpson was that it was Penn State ball.
I think that's off Carr. His fingers were the last to touch it.
Mike Eads came in immediately, and the officials had a conference and decided to go to the monitor. So that's Lamont Simpson and Mike Eads taking a look.
This is like getting an extra timeout when they discuss this so much. The ball's going to be Maryland's ball. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Mike Eads has made the indication, coach, as they come away from the monitor, that it will be Maryland basketball, and the replay revealed the evidence.
30 seconds left on the shot clock right now. They get a new shot clock. Let's see if they switch. The last time they had the inbound right here, Herder made an awful pass to the corner.
Caught by Jackson. Tried to go to the rim. Watkins got in his way. Now we've got a minute to go. Penn State hasn't beaten Maryland since 1990. And Shep Garner wants a timeout as they pressured him.
66, Maryland 60.
Lead is 6. 55.7 seconds to go. And Lamar Stevens is tonight's Quicken Loans amazing performance.
Well, Stevens has been terrific in this game. Right here, we're showing some of his offense. He's a mid-range player. Drives to the basket, going to his right is very, very effective. He's made some jump shots in this game. He's made some defensive plays, which have been excellent as well. He has been off the charts good.
22 points for Stevens. That leads all scorers. Don't forget, coming up, Illinois at Northwestern. So follow us on the Big Ten Network.
Also has 7 rebounds in the game. Has played solid D. Big game for Penn State.
You can watch that game, Illinois Northwestern, on BTN to go right now. But I would say stick around for the final 55.7 and see what happens. And
anything
stay with the
can
ball
happen.
in the lead. Yeah.
No doubt. Got a foul early here now.
That's what Brantley did. They'll put Stevens at the free throw line. Stevens is 5 of 8 from the line tonight. And these will be free throws number 29 and 30 for Penn State tonight.
Number 11, Lamar Stevens.
Because Maryland was so deep in the hole, they had to come back and be aggressive, and hence more fouling. Stevens has to be feeling pretty confident right now.
Watkins back in the game for Penn State.
Watkins back in for defensive purposes. Peyton Banks.
Stevens.
Sorry, Peyton Banks out. He's a better ball handler than Watkins. Watkins made the play on the last possession where Justin Jackson came in and lost the ball because of Watkins coming over to help.
24 points for Stevens, just 2 shy of his career high tonight against Maryland. Herder misses to Garner with 38 seconds to go, and Dodd, the touch foul. The Nittany Lions are closing in on victory, and the crowd knows it. Let's check in with Mike Hall in our BTN studios. Mike?
Well, Tom, thank you very much. Northwestern, Illinois just tipped off about a minute and a half ago. Derek Pardon scored for Northwestern. That's the only bucket of the game thus far. Again, our free app, BTN to go. You can watch the game live right now. Guys?
Mike, thank you. Garner at the free throw line. Surprising evening for Garner, coach. Just 3 points. It was his first free throw attempt. His only bucket, a three-pointer, 1 of 9 from the floor.
If you would have told me those stats for Garner before this game happened, I would not have believed that they won the game. I'll tell you what, that is a great sign for Penn State.
Basketball
Game not over yet.
Jackson scores for Maryland. Timeout, Patrick Chambers.
The score, Penn State 68, Maryland 62.
By the way, the possession arrow also favors Penn State at this moment.
Exactly. So right here, after a basket, you are allowed to run the baseline when you're inbounding the ball. You do not have to be stationary.
So Penn State is out of timeouts. We told you it's been a tough night for Garner, the leading scorer from Penn State. Well, Melo Trimble had a solid start to this game, coach. He averages over 17 per game, but Penn State has really clamped down on him on occasions.
On that particular one, 4 guys were guarding him at some juncture. Here he just loses the handle on the play. Very frustrating evening for Mr. Trimble in this one. A couple of balls went in and out on him.
All right, Coach, while we have a moment, let's go back to Mike in the studios for an update on Illinois Northwestern.
Well, Tom, you just see right now the second basket of the game as there's a slam from Vic Law. But before that, the teams had combined to go 1 of 9 shooting in the first 3 minutes and change. It's 4-0 Northwestern. The game's available right now live on BTN To Go.
Mike, thank you for the update. Quick glance at the standings, and the Terps awfully close, Coach, to losing their 3rd in conference this season.
Well, Northwestern at 7-3 in that next game. Vital game for them to win to get to 19-5 overall and solidify their place in their quest for an NCAA bid. Lamar Stevens has been the star in this game offensively for Penn State. But it has been a team effort at the defensive end for the Nittany Lions for sure. They have been remarkably good in shutting down the Terrapins, who are normally a very explosive offensive team.
They have held Maryland to 33% shooting and 28% from three-point territory. Stevens is going to go back to the free throw line, where he's 7 of 10. You know, he's got 24 points. He also has 7 rebounds. A clockwise swirl to the bottom of the net.
Did you see him smile at Garner? He turned around and smiled at Garner. Not many smiles on the Maryland bench right now.
Reeves got it back amongst 3 or 4 black shirts, and Reeves comes up with it.
He went behind Dodd. That typifies this game on the part of Penn State. Focused, doing everything right. And you have to do that to beat the number 21 ranked team in the nation, a team that has not lost on the road all year.
Reeves at the line for Penn State.
Leads the league in steals. A factor on defense is Mr. Reeves.
So now the lead is 8. Time running out on the Terps. Herder saved it in the corner. Jackson to the rim for the layup.
Basket by Justin Jackson.
14 points for Jackson. He's the leading scorer for Maryland. They're going to decide to foul with 10 seconds to go. It's going to put Tony Carr at the free throw line for a couple of chances. So, Coach, you got Carr with 14 points. Stevens with 25. Watkins with 10. All those guys in double figures. And Bostic with 4, but critical hoops from Bostic.
Oh, and hustle plays by Bostic. I was talking about getting him out of the game, and he made 3 good plays in a row. That's how much I know about it. I'll tell you what, he really did a terrific job. Has not played a lot this season. A lot of good hustle plays by Bostic in this one for sure.
One of those guys from Roman Catholic High School, Philadelphia. That includes Shep Garner as well, in addition to the freshman. Here's the final 7 seconds.
Big time rebound.
And that's it. Penn State wins it. 70-64, the final from University Park, Pennsylvania. So for Bob Wenzel, I'm Tom Wormy saying so long. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network. Right now, let's get it out to Evanston, Illinois, and join Dave Repson and John Crispin for Illinois and Northwestern. The Nittany Lions beat Maryland for the first time since 1990. 70-64 is the final.